Hello, hello. Let's lie on our backs. Oh, lovely. Let yourself go for a moment. Just notice the length of your spine. Where does your spine start and where does your spine end? Just trace a line in your mind's eye. Where is your spine? Where does it make contact with the floor and where doesn't it? And then start to find that gentle rocking movement with your pelvis. And just notice with your feet for a moment that your feet, as they press into the floor, how that flattens your back. And when you let the weight release out of your feet, as if you're about to lift your feet off the floor, but your feet are still on the floor, but some lightness in your feet, that tends to create more of an arch here in your back. The feet gently press down, so you feel your pelvis rock back, so you flatten the back, you release that pressure in the feet, they become light, and the pelvis rocks away from you, so you start to arch the back and you create more space between the pubic bone and your rib cage. With that gentle feeling, allowing it to come from your feet though. So as the feet press down, just notice how that rocks the pelvis back. The pubic bone goes towards your ribs, you notice your back flattens. And as you release that pressure in the feet, as if they're just floating, they're not coming off the floor, but they're just soft. There's softness in your feet, as if they're on clouds, just floating. And then you create more of an arch here now. You can put your hands underneath your back. Your hands can talk to each other on the right and left side. And just play with that feeling for a moment. So when you press the feet down, imagine they're on a set of scales. So you're trying to find an equal gauge on the scales, as if you're just putting a little kilo of chocolate on each scale, and just very lightly just pressing down and then releasing if you're taking the weight off the scales. Notice how that rocks the pelvis, rocking the pelvis, rocking the pelvis. That just came into my head there, don't know why. But as you do that, just notice how far up your spine that movement travels. Where does it go? Do you notice it in your ribs? Allow it to feel that it has permission to travel. You're not trying to control it. You might notice it in your head. You might notice your chin moving. You might notice your forehead, your nose moving. And then see if you can add some rhythm. Speed it up a little bit. Press, release with your feet. Press, release. Pressing down the scales, releasing. Pressing, releasing. And allow that to go all the way up into your spine. Notice your back. Notice your pelvis. Notice your head. What's happening? How is it all moving? Just because of your feet. What are your feet up to? Pressing, releasing, pressing, releasing, pressing, releasing, pressing, releasing. And then come back to being fairly slow. Noticing, releasing, pressing gently with the feet as if they want to go down through into the soil, down into the earth, and then releasing them. Such a delicious, what a good word, delicious, a delicious movement for your spine, for your pelvis, for your hips. So it's not as if we're going, it's not a hair movement, we're trying to force it, less force, less effort, and just noticing. And then rest. Nice simple lesson for today. So when you're ready to come up, roll yourself over onto your side, and before you come up, just notice the floor supporting your side for a moment. See if you can notice your heartbeat for a minute. Can you notice your heartbeat? Are you aware of that? When you're ready, use your hands to slowly push yourself up. Sort your hair out. Need a haircut. Thank you for joining me. Nice easy movement for your pelvis and for your hips and for your spine.